Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Visions of War. I know it's been a while, but we are in a new season of War right now. We are in, I think this is season 6, season 7, one of the two. This one just kind of got thrown up on us, and yeah, I meant to say it that way because it was like vomited to the top with pretty much no input or anything like that from anybody. Just kind of put it up as war rules. There was one quick little blog about it that at the top was Crucible, so kind of got skipped over as well. The Bump in the Night season which seasons usually go about 10 weeks, 12 weeks, something like that, was only about 6 weeks long. So very short. And now we got a new one. This is called Arcadia something. So we just got this new season. They needed something for their new tech teams and for this new Absolute A-Force team to use on offense and for just A-Force in general. But we're not going to go into the offensive side. We're just going to do your defensive side. So this is how to put good defenses down to make it so you're not having to worry about going into your offensive counters. We're not worrying about things like ODIN. We're not worried about things like Mephisto. You should have Sus at this point. That's one that's a pretty easy character to get at lower levels. Dormammu you should have, of course. Ultron, Kestrel, Ultimus, I guess, are all ones that are in DDs now as well. So you should have them. Also, not really any other notes than that. I will at the end, though, show you some super secret tech. We are going to show you how to beat Odin. If Odin is on defense with an Annihilator's team, how to use a team to punch up, 3 million or so. It's a team that everybody that's been playing for the past 6 months or so should have. So that'll be kind of fun. So we'll show you that. Anyways, first we're going to go into the rules of the new war season. I'm just going to read them real quick, and then we'll go into the teams. First off, we have global rules. Global rules are going to be defending Orcus allies are going to have 20% stats. For Med Bay, it's a specific room, and these are all going to be just defense, so that's why it's there. Med Bay is going to apply 2 regeneration to defending allies. Tech allies receive an additional 2 regeneration. Armory is going to give your 20% stats to defending allies, 20% to tech allies. So this is specifically tech, not Orcus. Security, defense down to attacking allies. That's going to help you. Your defending allies and bridge are going to get 10 positive effects. That's pretty much a normal thing. That's what they do every season. Your defending allies are going to get 15% barrier in the hangar, and then an extra 15% for your tech allies. Tech again, not Orcus, so all tech allies. So far we have armory and hangar, which are going to help your tech allies specifically. So this is for you leaders and captains that are moving rooms around. So armory and your hangar are going to have just tech allies get 15%. Let's see what else we got. We got defending allies and barracks are going to get an additional offense up, as well as the offense up that they get to all defending allies for that room. Cargo bay, 10% stats to defending allies and successful hit. Defending tech allies with regeneration apply bleed. Okay, so on successful hit, defending tech allies with regeneration are going to apply bleed. And so that is tech. That is not just Orcus. That's all tech. Okay. And then we got engineering apply defense up to defending allies. So those are your basic room buffs for your teams. So let's real quick, we'll go ahead and go into what teams we have. We are going to start in a flight deck for me with my 17 account. So you can see here I have Orcus in room 1. Orcus is going to get most of the buffs for most of the rooms. It's going to get all the tech buffs as well. It's going to get everything that you heard me say about defending allies. It has, because it not only has the Orcus buffs, it also has the tech tag. So they're going to apply bleed. They're going to get the extra offense up. They're going to get the extra defense up. They're going to get the regeneration. And they're going to apply bleeds if they have regeneration. You can see there's two. Well, there's a missing person here and an added person. So on this one, I went for an offensive type mode. So a defensively offensive mode. So I took off LDS, I put her on defense from offense, and put Sentinel, took him out of the mix. In another one of my accounts, you can see here, I have LDS off to use on offense, and this is more of a defensive set or offensive set for my defense. I know it's confusing. I'm putting more of the characters on offense that I want to use and less of the stuff on defense. So LDS I'm going to use on offense, so I took her off of this team, and I put Doom instead. Doom is a fun little mix to have with this team, because if they don't take care of Doom and they worry too much about other characters, then he's going to trigger, give 3 turns, all that fun stuff. If you have LDS, of course, that's who they're going to focus. But if you don't have LDS, then they got to make a choice. Are they going to go after Doom? But can they get through the Sentinel bots? Make sure you have that T4, though, so you get the Sentinel bots to have taunt. So they come in with taunt, you have to get through them, and then you can get to Doom. Okay, so that's a fun little trick there. Next in the room, we have Pegasus. So Pegasus, like I said, if they have regeneration and they're in, it's going to be Hanger, then they're going to be putting things down like bleed, which are very important, right? It's cargo bay. So they're going to be putting bleed down if they have regeneration. And Pegasus is really good about getting regeneration. So that's going to be a positive. It's going to be something that you're going to want to have happen, because that just means extra damage. If they can get a churn. If somebody uses the Namor Eternals, then they're probably going to get through them. But if they use Namor Eternals on defense, or if they do something else with it, then they might just have a hard time. It's one of those things. You're going to have them have to use that team, or Eternals straight up if they have a big one. Of course, punching down on any of these is going to work with a lot of teams, but we're talking about punching up onto these teams. So it's just something that most people have built. If you're mid to late players, that's still a decent team that's going to draw a specific counter, is what it is. So with this season, also, we have no use for really Underworld. Like, there's nothing really for them to counter, since most of the stuff on defense is tech and whatnot. So why not put them on defense if we're not using them on offense? And especially since they're going to take Taskmaster away from us tiers, because, people wanted to vote for Taskmaster to go on a new team. Rather than voting your Yelena or US Agent or somebody like that doesn't have a team. So they're going to be taking away an offensive threat for us and putting them on who knows where, with some Merc team come down in the future. So Underworld, since they're built, or should be somewhat built, you can just slap them on defense and get some use out of them. So we're going to switch over to the other one real quick and show you another one. So the other team that's here, as you can see, this is the Cabal team. So it's a speed Cabal team with Kang and Zemo. Zemo is going to proc first. You have him at Raider, so that he gives you crits. Because he crits, he's going to give speed to the Cabal. Kang is also going to crit with his special first turn. So that's going to give you speed up to Cabal. Cabal goes fast. They go boom. If they don't get ahead of them, it's pretty much over from there. Cabal, once they get going, it's hard to stop. They spawn with Safeguard as well, which is difficult unless they use Ares, of course, or some other new teams have Safeguard block like Absolute A-Force. But if they want to use something like Ares or Absolute A-Force against basic Cabal on defense, I mean, it's a win, yeah? So it's about not getting that full clear. You can see in this one also, I mixed my secondary 6 with a Taskmaster and Kingpin from Underworld to give a little Spider-Verse flair on defense there. Lizard is a great little taunter. If they decide to go in it with something that's a city hero or with something like that. Surprise, surprise, Ronin is a city hero. Surprise, surprise, Secret Defenders has some city heroes. So they do something like that. It could turn around bad for them. A little surprise there. Taskmaster goes pretty darn fast. Kingpin is thick, and especially when he's gear 19 like mine is, because he used him in DD. So they can do some damage. Also, with some reworks this time around was X-Men. So you can see Cable, you can see Storm, you can see Beast there with Nightcrawler and Gambit. They got some pretty hefty boosts, and I plan on bringing them up even higher. So don't be surprised to see an 1,000,000 powered Beast, Storm, Cable sitting on defense, especially since here in probably 8 weeks, since this war season is probably going to be just about as short, they'll have a new X-Men themed war season that we'll have to deal with. So might as well get them ready now, right? Extreme is another option for that. As you can see here, it's this is more of a this is the same one. This is the same one. So we also have Cable here, Beast and Storm with Nightcrawler and Gambit. This is on both of those accounts. But there's the old one, the old Extreme that was set up before. Looks like this here. Yeah, we're moving to all my accounts. So this is Nightcrawler, Gambit, Forge, Sunspot, and Rogue. That's kind of like the one from before. It's still okay, but it's got quite a few counters. The one with Storm, Cable, and Beast, it's going to probably draw something a little higher because they're not used to it, and they don't want to lose a match. So they're going to do something fun like that, and probably use something that they don't need to, just to get through it, just in case. So you can see also in here I have Heroes for Hire. So Heroes for Hire is just the gift that keeps on giving. Yes, it does have some basic counters, but it's kind of a pesky little defense that can be a problem for a lot of people. So putting Abman in the number 2 or in the number 4 spot is where you want to have him. You don't want to have him in the 1 or the 5. And in the 3 is okay, but it seems like in the 3, it's going to get some adjacent into 2 people, and then it's going to chain and hit 2 people. This one has a chain that hits 1 person or a chain that hits 4. So, a chain that hits 2 or a chain that hits 4. I'd rather have a chain 2 or 4 than a chain that no matter what is hitting 3 every time. So, in the 2 or 4 spot, he's right now is in the number 2 spot. That's kind of where you want him to sit. Then we have Infestation. I've also seen Heroes for Hire with Kang. That is a pretty nasty team. I actually have it up here. As you can see in this account, I had fun with my Hydra. So I have Red Skull on that one with Zemo. Red Skull gives offense or gives speed to Zemo, make him go even faster. So that's a possibility too. If you have a built Red Skull, because back in the day Hydra was the war, meta. Then putting something like that on there would be fun. I just have fun with my accounts. I build who I want to build. So, especially on this baby account here. But you can see I have Kang on this Heroes for Hire. It's pretty nasty. It kind of makes it so that A-Force is not a team to use. You kind of have to use like Weapon X to really go at them, or you have to use Gamma or something like that to get through. So it's kind of fun. I also have Annihilators here on defense. They're not very highly built. So don't you just love the graphics in the background making it so you can barely see? So anyways, so I have Annihilators here. It's like I said, it's barely built, so it's okay to put on defense. I don't really have a lot of counters for it on offense that I use, so that's where I choose to put it. Same thing with Tangled, and I'm not using Gwenom. I'm not using Ghost Spider because we have another counter that we use for Spider Society that's proprietary knowledge. So that's something that's just going to stay within a house. But yeah, we have a fun counter. Those of you that are Titans, you know what I'm talking about. It's an annoying defense, but Ghost Spider is not involved in that. So we have her on defense here with Gwenom. With some of the Hive Mind or Spider Society members with having Ghost Spider and Noir, some of the Hive Mind with Gwynnum, and then some Tangled with Noir, Weaver, and 2099. They are a fast team. If you don't get ahead of them, they can do some nasty things to you. We also have Infestation. So 3 out of the 5 members of Infest just got tech updates. So if you heard before, I did a bunch of stuff with tech allies, right? So that is Yellow Jacket, that is Big Time Spider-Man, and that is Ant-Man. You want to have the full team if you're going to use BTS. The reason being, he gets the speed and he goes fast, yes. If he's super huge, maybe he can get rid of somebody, yes. However, he doesn't put blinds, he doesn't put trauma unless he has all 4 other members with him. They have to have the 5 Infest for him to put trauma and bleed. So just going with the full team is worth it. You don't have to have him crazily built. Putting him in the 3 spot is fine. I have him there just to test out some things because I have the sizes different on that team. But for the most part, you want to put him in the number 2 or 4 spot. And the way you want to set it up is with your highest person health-wise to be on the outside beside BTS, so that way he doesn't get cloak or stealth or whatever you want to call it, and he forces you to battle with the 3 on the inside that hopefully then gets stealth that makes it so the BTS gets hit and speeds up. As you can see here, I have Orcus also in defense, just straight up Orcus. That's because my offense has got different teams on my baby accounts, so this is one of them. So those are the defenses where we're using this season. So we're going Orcus, we're going Infestation, Heroes for Hire with Abman or Kang. You got your Cabal, and if you want to use Kang there, then you got Cabal and Kang with Zemo. If you don't want to use Kang there, then you can always go with the other one and use Red Skull. And then we've got Annihilators. If you're not using them, you've got the Spider Weaver team. If you're not using them, you've got Pegasus, which is down here at the very corner. You've got Underworld with Secondary 6 as a possibility if you'd like to there. X-Men with Cable, Storm, Beast is another possibility. So yeah, there's a lot of good war defenses you can have out there that are going to do some fun stuff. Okay, so that's pretty much what you want to do with defense. It's easy. They're all pretty good teams to build. Infest, Heroes for Hire, maybe not so much, but Heroes for Hire has been around for years and it still works very well on defense. So I wouldn't say it's a bad build. It's just maybe not one of those that are high on your priority list. Same thing with Infestation. It's kind of one of those that comes and goes. We gave Safeguard in a war season rules to, I think it was City Heroes, and BTS got Safeguard, which made that team a pain to beat right off the bat because you couldn't just ability block them or kill them right off the bat. He had Safeguard. So it made it very difficult. So that's another possibility of building up something that may not be like meta as far as using in raids and stuff like that, but as far as just if you want to build a war defense team, there you go. All right, so as promised before, we're going to go into how to beat an ODIN with a team that everybody hopefully should have by now if you've been playing for the last 6 months or so. And like I said, there are some proprietary things on defense, so we're just going to go straight in and find it. So there we go. We have found the team. So as you can see here, this is my wife's account. You can see ODIN with Annihilators is a team that's pretty annoying to see on defense. So I have a nice super secret code here that I like to use, and it's called Undying. And so Undying needs a little help. They don't need Dorm. They don't need that help. They need this guy called APOC. So this is a 2 million punch up. Yes, the war buffs aren't active, but here's the thing. There's nobody that's tech on the Annihilators, so you're not really changing any buffs anyways when going into it. And depending on the room, they're going to have different buffs. And at the end of the war, there's barely going to be any buffs. I also don't have my offensive buffs, so it's pretty equal. as far as practicing. All the abilities are still going to be there. There's no abilities that are different. It's just war buffs. So all you're like, oh, this is all war, blah, blah, blah. You don't have the buffs active. It doesn't really matter. You can still practice the same thing. And it still works the same way because there's no mythic buffs going on in war this season. There's no Asgard buffs. There's no hero buffs. There's no anything like that. Cosmic, none of that stuff. So it's tech and Orcus. So we'll go into this. We'll show you how to get this beat. And then yeah, we'll end the video after that. So anyways, those of you that are watching the video, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I'm going to try to be putting out some more. Probably going to go into war offense and how to beat some specific teams. But for now, since the new season came around, people are probably scrabbling to find stuff for war defense. I decided, hey, this is a perfect time to go in and do a war defense video. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Here's the counter, how to get through Odin. So basically, we're going to utilize Zuggs to flip everything. Zuggs is a very important member of this team. I like to aim him at the person that is I want to flip the buffs the most. Just it's a thing. It's just a thing I have. So I'm going to go through. Zuggs is going to flip all the buffs. You see he puts trauma on as well. I like to go here, and it's probably not the right thing to do, but I like to put the ability block here on Odin. And then I know it doesn't stick, but it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to try to get that extra little bit of damage done, because when I go through with APOC here and I'm hitting him and I get to this punch, I'm like, I want you to be almost halfway dead so that I can make sure that I kill you, right? That's kind of what we want to do. And then just let that cookie crumble, okay? Then we're going to spread the buffs like normal. Here comes Gore. He sometimes takes out somebody. Usually it's Zim that he takes out. And then you don't get the revives if he takes out Zim. But it's really not a problem because the rest of the team is what you're focusing on and just getting that big damage, right? So I just want to take care of the rest of the team. I got Odin gone. I'm happy with that. The trauma's still there, so I don't got to worry about that happening. They're not going to remove all the buffs is what I'm meaning. And now, if you notice, Gore is the only one that doesn't have any buffs because he went before, so the trauma's gone away. So I'm just going to smash him, right? That's who I want to focus on now. I want to take away his charges. I want to do everything that I can to Gore to get him out of there. And then just let the rest of them bleed out. Look, they're confused. The computer is even confused. It's like, wait, what just happened? You're taking out my team. Still, aim on Gore because, like I said, he doesn't have trauma. And then you're just going to go for the speed bars afterwards. Try to get somebody down. Whoever you can get to bleed out first is how you're going to win this. Right. So, there we go. Super simple, easy, 2 million punch up. Undying with APOC. Not clickbait. Okay? It is going to happen. So, thank you all for watching the video. I appreciate it. I know it's super short, but we're just trying to keep things quick so you can watch it during Christmas. Anyways, have a happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and until next time. Peace.